Guys, it's Hey Sophia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to build a barn and silo. So shout out down below to Polyjohn who requested that I do this video. I really hope that you enjoy the barn design that I have come up with today. I've tried to keep it quite traditional in its look, and I've also done a little bit of landscaping around just so you can see how I would landscape a build in this kind of environment. But let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is build the base of our barn. So for our barn today, we want to be going 14 blocks wide and 24 blocks long. I think this is a really good even number. If you wanted, you could make your barn longer if you do want to be putting more into your barn. You could even make it shorter if you wanted to, but I think this is a really good size for a barn. Once you do that, we're then going to do our corners, which I am using the quartz block for. And by the way, the red block I am using is the red concrete, which I think is a really beautiful barn color, so try and go for red concrete. And our quartz blocks, we're going to go 6 blocks up on the side. The next thing I'm going to do, which I will fill in and skip past, we're just going to completely fill in all the walls around the edge. There we go. So we have our barn walls now done. And we're going to start focusing on the ends of our barn. Now from the end here, you want to go 1 block up. We're then going to go 2 blocks up. Fill this in there. We're then going to go another 2 blocks up. Just like so. And then from here, you basically just want to do another 1 block up. And we're going to try and get that kind of... Barns have this really high progression, like a really steep progression of the roof, and then suddenly it's a perfect kind of pointy roof at the top. So you then want to do just 1 block higher and then 2 blocks in the middle. We're going to now copy this and do it on the other end side of our barn as well. So we will go through it again. But like I said, 1 block up, fill in there, then 2 blocks up, and then you do 2 blocks up. And then 1 block up, and then from this one here, you just fill in the middle too. So it is a really simple kind of design to do on the end, and I think it really achieves the look of the barn roof, especially once we add our roof and our accents, which we will do in a second. So for our roofing today, we are doing the stone brick, just because I think it's a really nice kind of roof tile look, and it's very similar to the colors when I've done my research on barns that they typically have. Now you're going to be doing a mix of staircases, slabs, and whole blocks for your roofing. You just want to basically follow the progression of the red there. So you just want to place a block exactly where the red is. And we're going to carry all along here, so block, block, staircase, staircase, staircases, slabs, and slab on top, just like so. And then once we have finished this, we're going to start doing the trimming of our roof. Now the trimming for our roof today, we will be doing the quartz, staircases, blocks, and also slabs, just to match the white quartz that we have on the edges of our building. And what you want to do, we're going to create a overhang off the roof now. So you just want to line up your quartz blocks exactly with the edge of the stone brick blocks for our roof. You can see me doing this at the moment. And we're going to do this the whole way around the building. We're also just adding this overhang down on the side, and it just adds again to that barn look. Now once we have finished doing the roof on this side here, we're going to go into some details about the under details of the little quartz trim that we're doing. So the first thing we're going to do though is just finish this off here. Alright, and there we go. Now that that is finished, we're going to do the under kind of details of the roof. So you want to grab your staircases and slab blocks. We're going to do slabs more towards the top and then staircases more around the bottom of the roof. So you can see that looks quite nice, but still a little awkward up the top. So we're just going to add slabs there. And now you have this really, really nice rounded roof look. So again, staircases, staircases all underneath. Oh, I forgot one here. And then we do slabs up the top. And just there, I accidentally put stairs, but there we go. So you can see this is kind of getting that nice rounded barn kind of roof look. You can kind of see what I mean if you look up a barn on Google. This is what they look like, I think so anyway. It's quite hard to get exactly the look of a barn unless if, you know, we want to be doing a really big one. So for this size, I think this is a really good look. Now I sped up ahead and just filled in the roofing, which I just basically continued edge to edge. So it's just like any other normal roof that you would do in Minecraft. But we're going to focus on the inside of the house now, as well as some of the outside details. First thing you want to do is count 3 blocks in and then place a quartz block. We'll empty out the middle, and our quartz blocks we want to be making 4 blocks high. This is to make the door frame for the entry to our barn. We will also just do an underside trim here with the quartz staircase. You then want to go 3 blocks above the entry there and make a 4 block wide little hole, and this will be 3 blocks high with the quartz on the edges, and then again the same upside down staircase trim. This is to make that kind of, when I was researching barns, now we don't really have a lot of barns where I live in Australia, and I've seen barns in real life, but from my research this is typically the 2nd story entry where they would have hay. You could also make a little lever kind of contraption up the top if you would like something like that, but I'm going to not do that today. I'm also going to add a little kind of diagonal paint detail just coming from the door, just something really simple that adds to the painted white kind of look that you see on barns, and I think this is looking pretty good now. Another detail that we will be adding is just some windows along the sides, so I'll skip past doing all of them, but I'm just going to do 2 by 2 for my windows, and the inside of my windows I will be filling it with the white glass paint. Now the reason for me filling in with the white glass paint is simply because personally I find when you're doing a white trimming on a window, especially on such a small build like this, it can be a little bit too much, so I find that the white block for the glass kind of gives us a good effect of having that white trim without doing it. You can do a white block trim around the window, but it's really going to make the rest of the build seem out of proportion, so I don't really recommend doing that. But for now, let's continue on, and the inside of the build here we're going to start focusing on. Firstly, we're just going to add a kind of like matching doorway to the other side, except this one won't be an entryway and just a window that matches the one on the front of the barn. Again, I will fill it with the white glass pane just so it has a window of sorts. You could leave that completely blank though if you like. And I'm also going to add the same white paint detail to this one as well, just continuing on with the diagonal where a door would be, joining it up and then continuing it down. You could always do a different pattern as well if you like. You could also add a white quartz trim to the bottom of the build if you want white paint along the bottom. It's up to you, but we're going to do the inside now, which I will be doing a oak plank flooring, and then I'll be doing a scattered kind of hay look. Now I will be skipping a lot of the inside of my building just because everyone might have a different idea of what they want to do for a barn, so I'm just going to show my one idea, but there's lots of different ways that you could do this. So I'm going to be doing a oak flooring and then kind of like a hay kind of patchy floor. I'm also going to be adding some details just by doing some like fence posts and some like a 2nd story flooring and also some supporting poles and just lots of hay bales. But what you want to do if you do my design is just place your oak flooring and then hay on the sides. You then just want to kind of make the hay patchy through the oak so it looks like the hay is actually hanging over the oak. So you can see here what I've done. So I added some support poles and some beam structures. Mine are uneven, which I think kind of adds to that charm of it being a rickety old barn. So mine aren't even, which I think is fine. All I've done though is just added hay bales. I haven't done anything on the 2nd story just because all I would be putting up there is hay, so it's up to you if you want to fill it. You could even make the 2nd story a house if you really wanted. But I just did a really simple interior for my barn. You might want to turn the inside of your barn to stables, so you might add horse stables. Maybe you want the inside of your barn to be farm machinery, so you could build some farm machinery. So Do whatever you like, my way is just one way that you could do it. But we're now going to build our silo, which for mine I am using the light grey terracotta block, simply because I think it's kind of like the closest thing you can find to the brown that you typically see a lot of silos are. At least I think so anyway. I didn't really want to be doing a wood plank because I think it looks a little bit awkward. So I think this is kind of the closest to the colour. We are going We are going 15 blocks high today for our silo, which I will fill in a second. There we go. And on the bottom here, I am doing oak. Now, I don't really know a lot about silos. I know they typically hold grains and stuff like that. I'm not really sure on the inside structure and the stuff like that, but I've just kept it really simple because for me, it's more about the look in this tutorial than functionality. But we're going to do the roof, which I am using the iron block for my roof. You could also use quartzo if you would prefer to do quartz. And we're just basically following the inside of the dome shape that we did, which by the way was 3 around all the edges and then just 1 joining them up. And then to kind of make it a little bit more domey, I'm just simply doing some quartz blocks on the top here. Now you might not like the look of the quartz with the iron. I think they match quite well though that you can't really tell, so I think it's okay. But if you really don't like it, again, like I mentioned, you could just do quartz and quartz instead of having iron block and quartz. The next thing we're going to add is the detail of a pipe. So I'm using the birch for this because it's the closest to the white without having to use the end rod. Not the end rod. Now I just added the detail of a pipe, which I did the birch, which is the closest in having to use that white and purple rod. I think that can be a little bit weird because of the colouring that it, like the lighting it gives off. And then the other detail we're just simply adding now is a little entry with a staircase to the top here. Now I'll also do a staircase on the middle. I do know that they normally do have entries to these from the top. But I've also just make sure, do your ladders on the inside so if you do fall down you can't get out. But the final thing we will be doing is I'm going to quickly do some landscaping. There we go. So I simply did a dirt path, lots of flowers, some oak trees, and I tended to keep my flowers to just white ones and grass. But I think this is a really simple and beautiful landscaping way for your barn and silo. But there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Give it a thumbs up if you'll be building my barn, but like always guys, thank you, bye!